Glimmer Cape and
yeah, doesn't matter.
I mean, it doesn't matter. But maybe like if he could have gotten like an earlier Yule Scepter or something that would have lessened the impact of the axe.
Right. Got a Midas.
I don't know about that one.
Midas on everyone.
I think it was like Tranquil.
Frostbite one creep, Midas the other. You're done with the camp.
I think if you're a hero that has potential to get a Midas, you should be getting a Midas. I think Crystal Maiden is one of those. I think Warlock is one of those. Don't think Kunkka was one. Earth Spirit. You could argue if you're a Midas on Earth Spirit.
Yeah, I think sometimes. If you really don't need a blink, kick one.
There we go then. Draft number 2.
Same bans.
Same openers, yeah.
Nyx has been banned against Faceless for, I think, about 6 months now. They've probably forgotten about this hero. Maybe they've forgotten how to play it. Who knows?
Maybe.
I wonder if in scrims they're just like, don't pick the hero.
Yeah,
or
don't bother anymore.
Yeah, like, because in scrims the teams might not ban it.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nah, we're never going to get into a real match. What's the point?
Could be.
Monkey King ban again?
Yep.
You feel like Timursaw is really that good of a hero?
No.
For Ice Ice Ice? For specifically Ice 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 that you should ban it? Because I kind of feel like that hero is just not really that valuable.
Yeah, I don't think that hero is that great, but I guess they feel like they have an open ban. They're comfortable playing against whatever else is in the pool. Faceless is a team that has played a little bit different than what the original meta is, so maybe they feel like they have a free ban because some of the more popular meta heroes Faceless hasn't been utilizing.
5 seconds remaining.
First pick in the last game was Earth Spirit.
And they're going to continue that trend.
Yeah. Also a deny pick for EG, something that they would definitely consider taking, especially with Monkey King out of the pool. Might see Zion like another kind of creative hero.
We talked about this, Peter, in the earlier match today. VGJ had the same kind of stubborn, we're going to pick the same thing and let you come at us because we were really good at it.
But Faceless picked the same thing.
Sure.
We might see some, I think as long as EG has some variation. Like
how would you like to see it variate this time around?
Well, they're just reacting to what the picks are. So they see Earth Spirit, and they feel like the best 1-2 combo against an Earth Spirit opener is Lifesteal Warlock, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think the difference is in this, and then the other one is that Vici, like, let's see, who is it? IGV or Vici was, or no, IGV was picking different heroes, and Vici was picking the same heroes. And here we see Faceless with the same exact opener, so we're probably going to see similar bans from EG. And I think eventually somebody's going to differentiate, and it's probably going to be Faceless, which will lead EG to differentiate as well.
Maybe ban away the Invoker.
Yeah, that's a great option.
Opportunity to do that.
Hand on the chin, thinking face.
Same ban again.
Is it? I don't remember.
Yeah.
The 3-4 bans are so forgettable.
Yeah, all 5 bans exactly the same.
I think it's totally fine Faceless open with this again. Like, both of those heroes were definitely valuable. I think Jabs played really well in the Ember Spirit too at many stages of the game.
6 out of 6 bans exactly the same.
They also feel that Ember Spirit is the proper response to Lifesteal Warlock, and I don't disagree at all.
I actually really like watching drafts like these, like the second game of it, just to see what the small nuance differences. Slark this time banned by EG, not Faceless, correct?
Nope, exactly the same.
Maybe we'll have a game 3 and we'll have the same draft again.
Ooh. That would be the...
Yeah, EG banned out the Slark last time as well.
Yep, Lifestealer counter.
So did the Faceless open Crystal Maiden? Was that the first pick up there? Okay. Will that one be different? I'm hoping so. That's the one
We've
I'm
had 7 exact bans and 4 exact picks so far. This could easily... there we go. Okay. So the Invoker's gone this time around. Faceless didn't like that.
Lina.
And it does leave the Lina.
Are you ever concerned about running Lina Lifestealer, in which case you don't have that same kind of like truly scaling mid? Or do you think Lina actually can rival some of these other scaling mids when she starts transitioning into right-click damage?
I think she scales pretty fine.
Yeah?
I think it's like a semi-carry. Lifestealer Lina is like a little weak, but now that they have Sardar to give amp,
that really changes things.
Yeah, it's going to not only increase Lina's right-click damage, but also Lifestealers, so it kind of helps them scale into the late game.
I'm fairly sure that'll be Zeiss hero as well. I don't think it'll be Universe.
For sure.
So I think that it's just really safe for EG to go for Slaughter there, since they know Faceless will probably do something different. And Invoker's just so safe in a lot of ways. Like, he kind of works against everything, so they've got to pick something similar in Vayne.
Oh, and the ban from Faceless was Slaughter last time instead of Invoker. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's the difference. Different ban, different pick.
Yep.
Because before Slaughter was banned, so they had to go for the Kunkka instead.
Although they did save it for 4th.
Yeah, they did.
It also gives more value to the SF as well. If EG feel like True. Lina's and the hero. I think there are just so many good options in the pool against an early Ember Spirit pick. That's my one problem with it, is that I'm okay with Ember Spirit 3-4, but the 3-4 bans don't give you enough to work with in order to stop the Ember Spirit heroes.
My God, they're
3 out of 3.
Picking the same heroes, guys.
Well, I like it better against Slardar than Kunkka, that's for sure.
It's not. It's a little bit better this game.
Good
yeah,
dancing
exactly.
in the background.
Sorry, you're absolutely right. It's definitely better against Slardar than Kunkka. Kunkka offers like a ton of team fight, which kind of outscales Crystal Maiden's amount of team fight. So if EG has less team fight, Faceless can get away with having a little bit less team fight as well.
Plus the little control she has, that's the best way to deal with Slardar. If he can't move, then at least you know what he's about to do. Whereas Kunkka can just react, cast spells.
That's true. If Slardar can't move, he can only stun what's around him.
That's true.
Legion Commander.
The LC got banned, 5th ban right now, by Faceless last time.
So snatching it up early.
Yeah.
It kind of solves the Axe puzzle piece as well. Like good at pressuring, good at the lane.
Ooh, a
little different.
Last pick Sumail hero.
It's been a while since we saw this, I think.
Yeah.
I still really like that, right? Because they still have 2 options. They also now give themselves a scaling offlaner as well. So that way, if we do see the Lina Lifestealer, then you're still fine with going like 50 minutes plus because you have this LC.
If it's last pick, do you think he might pick up a Storm?
That's the hope.
I don't think so.
That's the dream.
Against Ember, Earth Spirit, and Crystal Bane, they all have something to be able to deal with Storm Spirit, some sort of ensnare or silence.
Yeah, the ensnare now from Crystal Bane actually locks Storm Spirit in.
Yeah,
so it's pretty good.
Ensnare's just kill.
Stops him from. Yeah, that's actually super good spell against Storm. Can't zip, can't right click.
I feel like Legion protects against some of that. Like they could maybe get away with it because they press the attack.
They could, but I'm fairly certain that EG will not pick Storm Spirit unless they have Wisp, Crystal Maiden, or Caudle on their team.
Right.
For extra mana.
Yeah, I think it's. I feel like that is an idea that is like ingrained in the back of their heads. At least it was when I was playing.
Morphling for Faceless have played it before in the group stage.
It's an evasive hero. Lots of burst nuke, which can be very good against heroes like Lifestealer, Slower Legion. If you duel him before he starts morphing, he can't morph, I believe. So it's kind of playable for EG.
Harder scaling Lifestealer counter. That's what I like about it anyway. Clinks is so fragile and situational.
The extra mana is going to help a lot, actually. That's one thing that makes Morphling farm really fast, just abusing waveform. It's kind of like a better version of Sakuchi.
Okay, so for EG's draft, I think I would guess Lina or Shadow Fiend. But it depends like which one Faceless decides to ban. I'm trying to think if there's any other better options. Like I think that they definitely want to be able to abuse Ember Spirit in lane. That's a huge tell that they have to take advantage of. But is there anything that can abuse Ember Spirit in lane that also matches up good against Morphling? Because right now they really don't have a lot of great tools to deal with Morphling.
There are heroes, but I think they're all like. Would you be okay with a 4th melee hero on the side of EG's lineup?
It depends what it is.
What about like an OD?
OD would be nice.
Would be a good answer.
Yeah, OD is pretty good against Morphling. I like OD. I think I like OD better than Lina and...
I like it better than Lina. I don't know about SF.
It's close.
I guess. Lina's more offense. SF's more defense.
They take away the Magnus.
I think I like OD the best, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Earth Spirit has a really rough time like roaming on mid too if it's OD. Just like astral somebody and walks away.
5 seconds remaining.
What do we got? Centaur and what other offlaners are left for Faceless?
Oh, the OD ban. All right, so now what do we got? Lina or SF?
Yeah.
Anything else? Any Morphling counters?
Rubik?
They're like soft. Mid Rubik. They're like the softer melee counters, like the Jug with Diffusal or Ursa or something like that. But I don't think they offer the same kind of synergy that SF does. Or Lina. I think Lina is still a better answer to Morphling. SF is better synergy with EG's lineup.
I haven't really spoken about it too much, but somehow on that Lina plays it very differently to the majority.
Yeah, he skips.
We spoke a bit off camera earlier.
He skips the respawn talent.
He does, yeah. And it seems to pay for him.
I'm not
as well,
gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
It's a confident player.
I'm gonna do me. They ain't gonna touch me.
Doesn't need minus respawn timer. Doesn't need gold for buyback.
Well, you don't need minus respawn timer, Peter, if you're not gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, He's a perfectionist, you know. He's
Loser mentality, man. Oh, damn.
Hello.
That is not...
Pit Lord in the house for the first time.
Yeah.
At DAC, and we do get a Samael Lina in there as well. So
Lina's definitely the pick versus Underlord.
is this the wacky draft that we thought we might get from Faceless? It is.
Is Underlord pretty bad?
Is it going to work though? Is the question, Peter? Is it going to work?
If they were equal teams, potentially, but I think EG's the better team, and I think that they'll take this game.
Okay, so you're going to stick with EG for game 2 in a sweep. Kevin.
I'm going to go with EG. I do like the Pit Lord for his area control. It's going to be really good against the melee heroes, but so I kind of like it as a pick, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Yeah, I don't think Underlord actually provides a whole lot for you in this meta right now. Like, you can't just like 5-man death ball to win, so no, EG.
EG for you as well.
Yeah.
Clean sweep. Okay, a clean sweep here on the analyst panel. Will it be a clean sweep for Evil Geniuses? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary duo of Gods and ODPixel.
Thanks very much, Paul. Indeed, this very exciting game 2 of EG versus Faceless coming up. We've just seen the drafts. Faceless finishing off with something a little different. EG is something a little more familiar, of course, with the Samael Lina, but Abyssal Underlord, a hero that there was a portion where teams, especially China and such, they were picking this, but now we're coming into this Faceless grab it. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of success with this hero recently. Why the hero this game?
They want something that can 5-man. They want to have this strong group up push kind of play, perhaps like hit this mid-game time with a Morphling, but I think Peter said pretty well, like, isn't this hero not good? It was a question because we haven't seen that hero. Like, since all the nerfs, it seemed everyone just stopped picking him, so now it's like, well, he sucks, right? Like, everyone just assumes the hero's not good. Maybe teams aren't going to be, like, have kind of forgotten how to play versus it. Playing around the Dark Rift can be something very valuable, so we'll see if it's something EG can handle. I mean, it was very meta for a while, so it's not going to be a complete surprise by any means, but definitely a hero they did not expect to see in this best of 3.
Absolutely, and Black, of course, as well. This time around, getting the Morphling. We saw him have it on the Clinks. I mean, considering the flame that Clinks kind of got at the start for the panel, and understandably so with the way that the hero has been performing recently, Black did manage to get a lot done on the Clinks. We'll see what he's able to do on the Morph. And how good of a Morph game is this, in your opinion?
I think it's a very good hero against like the Slatter Lifestealer. You've got very high armor naturally through all your Agi. Get going on, you can morph to strength as necessary. Perhaps struggles a lot more against the Lina, but with the OD ban, this definitely protected the Morphling quite nicely and sets them up to be in a pretty decent spot as far as Morph's game goes. We'll see how his lane is. Slatter, after the nerfs, doesn't seem to contest the off lane really as much. Isn't quite that menace in the early game laning stage as a full position, so I definitely feel like he should do all right come laning stage, but Legion, pretty strong laning hero in itself, so they will have to prioritize, like, yeah, both supports in this top lane feels like a necessary ingredient as far as Faceless for the start goes.
And we can see already, I mean, Underlord...
Morphling is positioned down
Yeah, Underlord has just started to head up towards top right side, so it looks like they're going to switch it around in reaction to what they've seen EG come out with.
Okay, so they're thinking they can contest the Lifesteal's lane state. Something we've seen again and again, we saw it last game with EG, is giving Lifesteal these 1v1s. If he has a good matchup, Underlord is a good matchup, give him a 1v1. So it seems like Faceless forcing EG to actually play a support game. You know, like Arteezy normally is left alone because he wins 1v1s. He's got a good matchup, he's a very good mechanical player. And then this Warlock is top. Like, they're expecting this Warlock. Okay, now he TP's bottom. He realizes what's going on, but this is going to force EG to play like a more standard lane step. They can't be as greedy because of this, which is like what the end result of having the Warlock top and the Lifesteal 1v1 is, that it's super greedy. They win 3 lanes. That's not going to happen here.
Mid lane Zai. Cut across, looking for some harassment here onto Jabs. XY in return was hanging around just in case any sort of play like that does occur. As both mid laners being backed up by a support at the moment, and indeed leaving these side lanes, that top lane, the 1v1 Legion versus the Underlord. Down bottom, the 2v2. I mean, the question is, can Faceless get what they hope to achieve down there? Can they slow down Arteezy's farm, or is the Warlock presence going to be more than enough to be a nuisance back to Faceless?
A straight 2v2 is fine for Arteezy. He's got Shadow Word, so he's got heal, he's got Feast for sustain. It is one of the lower armor heroes, and that's one of the hero's weaknesses early on, but Poor Man's Shield, Quelling Blade, he's alright, and the Slatter's immediately responding with his presence down here.
Again, at the same time, XY does respond. Nuts will be able to get himself back And as we're seeing, just the Shadow Word enough to stop Faceless from being able to get anything too critical in return with this reaction. XY continues to sit down bottom. The Crush again will be there onto Black. They'll roll forward, hold back Zion the Slardar. Just turning, trading hits, but overall it really seems like with the presence of the 3v3, EG are the stronger lineup in terms of heroes.
The big thing with the aggro Shrine is you do have the Shrine advantage, but it doesn't feel like they get that much damage dealt before they Shrine. Like ideally you want to really harass and force out a lot of spells and damage onto Lifestealer Warlock. Slardar, yeah, he chomped through most of his mana pool and suffered a little bit there, but the other two heroes didn't feel like they really got bullied at all.
Oh, and look at this already. Faceless are going to change lanes up because of what's going on. They've sent Black straight up to the top lane. Ice will move over to the jungle to pick up some camps, and at the moment they're allowing Nux to pick up a bit of the solo lane down here on this bottom. So very, very much respecting the way that EG's managed to play around Faceless' lanes.
Yep, that first couple of minutes really decided the outcome of this bottom lane, that you Shrine without harassing or zoning the Lifestealer, that lane is not going to be won, so you're Morphling, you want him to free farm. If he can free farm bottom, that's the preferred laning set for Faceless, but if he's going to get contested in this lane and with the Slardar Warlock presence, that's going to happen. You send him top, but crit, he's going to follow him around. You go top on Warlock, I follow you there. So he's going to match Black wherever he goes, and this is definitely problematic for Black.
And the mid lane as well, talking about problems for Faceless, Samael having a cracker of a time. 17 for 8 against Jabs' 9 for 1. This matchup certainly proving to be rather one-sided in the first few minutes.
2 games in a row, EG winning all 3 lanes. That is bad news bears for the Faceless squad.
Even get a kill by the looks of it as well, with Universe inside, closing in onto Nuts. Black pull out the back of XY.
He's getting chomped at though.
Look at how aggressive Universe can be.
Every lane, the aggression from EG is being shown. They're such a dominant team in the laning stage, and we're seeing it here.
Black has to be careful how he groups around this creeps, because there's another nuke from Universe. Black does have the morph, has a lot of mana to work with as well, but still, Universe just really going in on Black. Pushing this lane in, and the farm difference between all 3 cores on both sides.
Jabs is
pretty massive.
He's level 3.5 on Ember. Where's Lina, like level 5 or something? Oh my, this laning stage being crushed. As Faceless will have to, early 2-man smoke. They're like,
They've got to get Samael with this.
Disaster. We gotta fix this. Oh, the smoke pops early. Radiant Ward not gonna scout it immediately, and it's still nighttime, so this game could still theoretically work. CM is gonna hide in the Roshan pit, just anticipating a Radiant mid ward. So it's like you want to let the Earth Spirit get the roll before you come out.
They have to lock her down though, because Samael's got a haste rune. And immediately just pops it, backs off, and now Jabs himself could be in trouble. Light Strike and Dragon Slave will be there in a second. As Samael looking to move in, he's having to hold back as the chains will be there to cast animation. He is going in incredibly great. I mean, he trusts in the haste rune. He feels safe. And he will get out, he won't get the kill, but again, we're seeing Universe's aggression top, Samael's bravado in the middle lane.
That is freed up these lanes. Look, Morphling's gone back to Fountain. He's healing back there. He's like, I got lane, gotta pick up some items back at base. By Salve and Tango, you're like 5 minutes in the game and you're meant to be free farming on Morphling. No, you're buying Salve Tango. He's got 13 CS. He's put all of the money from farming into extra regen. This is...
Oh man, I mean this first 5 minutes is nothing less than an absolute disaster here for Faceless.
Yep, EG stomping the lanes. And bottom lane, TZ is probably just telling his team, like, I don't really need help. I'll farm. He can't really stop Ice from doing this. Ice can come behind, throw fire down, get some CS, but...
I mean, we just saw Black having to head back to base to the Fountain. We're going to see Jabs have to do the same as he's getting chased down by Zai.
Level 4 still. Oof. And Lina's already level 6.
Good luck coming back into lane against that Laguna.
Yeah. And Sumail doing this build that he always goes for. Rushes the phase boots, loves that extra movement speed for the aggression it gives him early on. We'll be fishing for that 6-minute rune.
I mean, Jabs, if he gets caught out by a light strike without that flame guard, he is definitely dead in this mid lane.
Empty rune as well, the regen. Gonna give Lina constant sustain for all her spells.
Universe trying to lead in, not quite level 6 yet. Very, very close though, and a few crews going down. Still not quite enough. But continuing to put pressure onto the Morphling now, turning their attention towards Nuts. And of course, they've got that chase down, purging the root off himself and chasing it down. And again, it's more trouble for Faceless. As mid lane, Zai with the wraparound. It's kill to kill to kill. I mean,
and it's a tower.
Oh my goodness,
a
it's
6.5 mid-tier 1 tower. And with the Lina of all things, Sumail doing such a good job, always spamming out the lane, zoning the Ember, and then maximizing the damage up on that tower. That is one of the most one-sided mid lanes we've seen all tournament.
One-sided lanes overall. As EG, and his top lane as well, Black has to be careful. Universe, that's the duel. Mid lane, again, just look how low Jabs is being brought.
He just wants that, well, let's say level 6 before he goes back to base. No, he wants that level 5, as he'll have to go back, use another shrine before heading back to lane. Sumail dominating.
Phase boost level 7, top lane, Black being
Sumail
forced right back behind his tower, and indeed, Nuts comes a little too close for his own comfort. 4-0 EG, 7.5 minutes in, bottom lane, RTZ. In the solo lane, continuing to find everything that he wants.
Has his Midas, you know, he's just going to farm this game. When you're winning all the lanes, you're perfectly happy for your carry just to go greed, get his Midas, not get involved.
They're taking another tower as well, 8 minutes in EG.
Yeah. The big problem here is the hero that's doing well, the Underlord, isn't a hero that gets like a blink and rotates. If that's like a Centaur, an Axe, some kind of space creating hero, you're like, great, we just going to blink, let's smoke up with our supports, our offlaner, let's go get some kills, let's go fix this lane state. Underlord's a hero that rushes a mech. You don't really gank with Underlord. You don't really do much with mech.
Look who's there on the high ground. Yep. Once again, Sumail ready to follow through the initiation of Zai. And nothing that Faceless can do to get any sort of blood in response.
They have a very early Yule, so you can't even rely on that Flame Guard anymore as a defensive tool to try and farm the lane. If you get Yules, or purge it off and set up a combo. Even if you wait to Flame Guard post Yules, you may just get bursted down through it with all the Lina damage, considering how far ahead Sumail is.
I mean, if Faceless can come back from this sort of a laning stage, it is going to be incredibly impressive.
Rush queued up for Ice. I'm not sure if he'll commit to this or opt for other items, but as said, it's like a mech isn't going to change this game. It's like you don't gank with this. He's going to play this like the Abaddon and just try and farm it up, go late game, if he commits to the Radiance. It's probably going to depend how the next few minutes go before he actually takes that approach or if he does something else.
And back to base for himself. Top lane crit. Soaking up some XP as the lane pushes in. And again with this warding, they've spotted out Nuts' movement. Full vision here for EG as it with the blink. Straight in. Universe getting the first of potentially many bits of bonus damage there for the duel.
Yep. No rock yet, but this is where EG can give lanes to supports. Warlock can take over the top lane. Slatter's already taken over the bottom lane with RTZ, happy to set up camp in the jungle. Something that maybe Faceless exploit to at least find some kills. That Slatter bottom is a bit vulnerable to getting ganked.
I mean, that Slatter bottom as well. If you look at the net worth, he's on par with the safe lane of Faceless.
Yeah, that's
Zai and Black.
Bad to say the least.
And proving to be even just too elusive for the two of them. You know, Ice and XY come down here, they can't control him.
Just running loops. They want to get this bottom tier 1 tower perhaps as well, just get some cash for the rest of the team. Is pretty low with the constant Underlord spam. Will be Zai trying to keep it alive as long as possible. SSIS doesn't even feel safe here.
Sumail?
Okay.
Is he going to be all right? Can they bring down this Lina? Looks like they should be. Oh, is he actually going to get himself away with the phase boost? He is. This has got to be so frustrating. Again, the infused raindrop just saving Sumail's life. As they can't get the kills on Faceless. EG just finding action after action. 10 minutes in, a second one duel here for Universe. I don't think you can write this laning stage any better for EG if you wanted to. This has gone not just to plan, but beyond for the side of Evil Geniuses. And
absolute
Faceless.
Perfection.
I mean, I guess ever since the start there, where they were forced to react to EG's dominance in terms of the lanes they got, it started to go downhill. Zai could be the first to lose his life here as Faceless. I mean, they're so desperate to find that
Black
kill.
Rotates in even. He wanted to like just try and come KS with like a level 4 waveform if possible, doesn't even get it. Sumail didn't have Laguna, or it's a like, guaranteed kill on an Earth Spirit or something there, but he's okay with that. Absolutely disastrous for Faceless here in the early game, and there's just no clear solution. That's the thing. Normally, looking at a game like this is like, well, at least they can try to do this when they get this item, like a Blink Dagger. This game, it's like, well, Ember can perhaps smoke with his team, but the ideal hit, you need to be killing this Lina right now. Slider slowing down his Blink would be kind of nice, but I think Lina's the hero who's really far ahead. Lifestealer, yeah, he's top farm right now, but he's just ungankable. You got to accept this Lifestealer with Rage, invincible, until you have, like, a lot more farm on your cores. So you've got to find Lina or Slider. You've got to make moves, and smoke up is the call. Ember's on the move. You can't just sit around and expect to out-farm EG. Not when they've got these Midases.
Maybe they're prepared this time. They've scanned EG out. They know the Crit and Universe are there. XY comes in with a good boulder smash onto 2. Crit in trouble, but he gets the Golem out in time. Surely they can kill Crit. They can. They will bring the Warlock down. It does require all 4 of them to be there. Zai, maybe seeing if he can come back in. And oh, Universe. He absolutely loves dancing with this little Crystal Maiden. They won't get the damage. They do get the kill again. The 3rd duel pretty much on that CM. Zai looking for the cut around. Black in trouble. The Yule setup. Perfect timing here. The silence will make sure no further damage comes out from Samael. But with the crush and the final Laguna, Black is out. 10-1. Faceless.
Yikes.
A very, very painful beatdown so far here on the main stage.
Yep. I mean, as I sitting bottom, I don't really feel like there's anything he can do. That's just the nature of this pick and hero, is that he's not a comeback hero. He's just going to sit there, pressure this lane, try to take the tower, he's trying to help his team out by luring heroes bottom to come farm. But the problem is, we've seen Artesia on Lifesteal able just to solo defend this lane. They haven't needed multiple heroes to deal with Underlord, and they've been able to keep this tower up for a very long time, despite all that lane pressure, and things continue to go from good to great to absolutely freaking awesome for EG, as a 10,000 net worth lead has been acquired. This is where you've got to chew through your smokes.
Maybe they can kill Artesia.
Yeah, maybe you get a kill or 2, but the problem is going to be, like, you get the kill or 2, then you've used up all your smokes.
If you can kill Artur,
okay,
that could be the way back in for Faceless, but Artesia is the one having a ball of a time as he just turns around, brings down Ice.
Not even remotely close.
You can't tell this man. He's keeping his head in the game this time, and Artesia.
Yep, he even had the rolling silence onto the lifesteal and everything. It was just, yeah, too much survivability with the armlet pickup, and, well, further armlet pickups, Legion Commander. I mean, everyone's having a great game. You can't even point at one player. Legion's going to start pulling miles ahead and become unkillable as well. Talk about Artesia being unkillable, Legion, same thing. It's only Lina that's squishy, and Sumail's positioning has been very good this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Sumail, this whole tournament, very much giving us incredibly consistent performances at a high level.
Yep.
Whether it be as Lina or as Invoker, definitely for me the 2 heroes that he's been standing ahead of the pack on.
And a kill for him.
Easy execution. Very easy combo for him. Timing's perfect.
And just knowing his hero there, he didn't actually have mana for the full 3-spell combo, so he Lagunas rather than Dragon Slaves. More damage, and the Dragon Slave may have not gotten that kill, so...
He did the maths.
Yep, doing all the small things right.
Looks like that Charlie Yang doing his homework, paying off. He learned a little from it, over the shoulder. Jabs. That's an invis. Can he make something happen here? I mean, they need something, Faceless. They desperately do.
Don't know if he can actually go. I mean, he gives his team the info, but...
They can bring people in. Okay. Universe and Artesia, can they turn this around? They're incredibly deep. Themselves out of the Firestorm. Black moving forward. They may be able to kill Universe. Artesia jumps out, looks towards Black. They've lost Junie. Artur will immediately just rage and TP out. So Faceless, I mean, every kill that they get will be massive for them. Yep. Nice bit of money going to Jabs.
Something. Gonna just buy as much time as possible. Straight into the Lincoln Sphere for Black. He wants a solution to that Jewel or Yule's initiation coming out from EG. And EG are eyeing off Roche. They've actually broken the Lincolns. We'll see if they commit to this one. Lifesteal is headed that direction. Definitely possible to take an early Roche here.
And very little it feels that Faceless could do in a full 5-on-5 situation at this stage.
Does look like they'll call it off and try and find a pick first. Artesia just wanting to get some more farm.
And there we have. I mean, just look at the range that they have. Okay. I mean, he'll get out. Only just. I mean, actually, the Shadow Word, he has one more ball charge you can use between the procs. And, actually, casting a little bit early here. A little remnant to damage I mean, I want to say that would have saved him, but I don't think it would have. I think the damage wouldn't have been enough anyway, but a nice little juke there of one of the instances.
Nicely played to slide a fist before remnanting away. Block a little bit of damage.
EG into the pit, as you mentioned.
I mean, EG they used the observer. They thought they had a pick. They were going to go Roche first. They only stopped going for Roche because they saw the Ember farming. They're like, well, we're going to get Roche regardless, so let's just kill an Ember first. But not the case. Not going to matter too much that they missed that kill. They've managed to secure the objective, taken an Aegis for themselves, and we'll be able to push down a lot of, pretty much all these outer towers likely with this Roche. The Deso and Lifesteal is really all you need to be able to bring down buildings with ease, and do see Nuts get himself out of there with a nice little TP. I mean, Nuts definitely had some very cute plays this tournament with just like hiding always in the trees, getting off some good ultis on CMs and Warlocks, and positioning very well, but those are not the kind of plays that win you games as a 5-position support. As we will see Ember reach that level 10 talent now.
Oh, and there we had the setup from Universe. Another successful duel, and this time it's on something a little bit bigger than the CM. Black is taken out and down.
It's the pre-Lincoln's kill, and not what you want to see if you're Faceless. As soon as that 5-man push comes, you want your Morphling at bottom lane or at top lane, split pushing and just trying to force those rotations back, but not going to be the case.
Oh, it's easy. Desolator complete 17 minutes in on top of the armlet. Midas.
Open Wounds lifesteal is just absurd. He gets back to full HP from an Open Wounds Midas. And yeah, the Desolator is what they're waiting for, really, to be able to push tower. Theoretically, even start chipping at tier 3s. You've got maxed out Rage. The Deso gives you the damage on the buildings. Gets the bonus damage talent now as well, so gets a good chunk of extra damage out of all these recent pickups.
And the best that Faceless can do whilst they lose these towers, just trying to find as much as they can from the map. Jabs.
How's our Underlord doing? Is he got his relic, or did he still go? Yeah, he's going for the Radiant still, fully committed. There's just no item for an Underlord. You look at this game, you're like, man, what do I buy? Mech's not going to do much. The Radiance is not going to be a big game changer, I feel. It'll be a little bit annoying, but ultimately not saying that makes him tankier. It doesn't really fulfill his role. Yep. You've got to come back and defend at some point. They're trying to maximize their gains elsewhere and defend at like the last possible moment, but Glyph has already been used. They're just trying to delay things with Ice on the high ground spamming and making sure Morphling gets like a tower at mid. Possibly even a second tower at mid if possible.
And Jabs does have the blink of the veil.
Jesus, so it's like, enough is enough. I want this tower. Rages
get
through.
these plays done, yeah. The rack's now exposed.
Still some good damage down mid. This is like all you can really do if you're Faceless, and yeah, the TPs will come back. Black doesn't have Lincolns yet. Oh,
he doesn't even have the ult out as well. So with this first setup, they won't kill him initially, but the further TPs are coming through, and with the amp on him, Black has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and they will still claim the kill in the Morphling. Did manage to finish off his Lincolns in time, though, before he went down.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to wave TP out and didn't fully he had to turn first before he waved, and in the process, he didn't actually complete the waveform before clicking his TP. Echo Saber Lifesteal, this is like an item where you're like, let's try and end this game. Let's really up the heat.
Samael, see if you can find the catch onto Jabs. Jabs.
Whoa.
Look to hide here. Samael just continues to chase down. In fact, Jabs has gone straight into the hands of Zai.
That cast range.
Can he get out? He cannot. The damage with that amplified, too much to follow through after the magic burst.
He gets such good cast range with that Aether Lens. And Sumail able to use those spells from such a long distance. Continues to snowball out of control as things continue to get ugly. No racks down just yet, so still not an insurmountable lead by any means, but you're still banking on EG overextending, making a big mess. If you can't fight them head on in a team fight, we haven't even really seen the Warlock really have to... I mean, he contributed in the lane stage. He helped them win the lanes, but team fights just haven't happened. When you dominate the lanes this hard, like your team fight heroes like Warlock are just like, well, what do I do? Not much. But the EG pressure has been constant and kept Faceless busy back at base.
EG ready to jump in the base, to be fair.
To launch, it seems. He's got the vision with the high ground ward. Seems nuts.
Oh, there we have Zai with a beautiful jump in the crush onto 2 Artsor, looking towards Black. Black trying to get his self away, but he can't. the Morphlings out. They will find one kill in return, but the Golem's dropped onto 3, forcing Faceless to back Arteezy. Turning towards the racks, and Mail comboing down jabs. Laguna onto XY. They'll be able to find the Earth Spirit as well here. As EG just taking 3, only losing Zai. They'll clean the racks up as well. 21 minutes in on this bottom lane. As 18-3, this is absolutely painful for Faceless.
Morphling unable to survive through it all, even with the shrine next to him. Still got taken down, and Sumail getting bloodstone charges out of it. He's not intending on dying this game, but definitely an item that will give him constant mana regen and sustain. Next lane could be attempted if EG want to keep the pressure on. Looks like wow, Solar Crest already. This is going to really amp up their siege. You chuck that on the Lifestealer when he's sieging for the evasion as well as the extra armor. Doesn't worry as much about the tower hits. And it seems like it is going to be no letdown from EG. They want to keep the pressure up. The Echo Saber, not really a late game item for the Life. So the fact he gets this after the Desolator really says, let's push now. This is not an item. If you're looking to drag this game out, wait for another Roshan, play for the late game and just win through farm advantage, you wouldn't get this Echo Saber. So.
I mean, what happened, Goss, to the Faceless that we saw in game 1? Is this an outdraft, or is this just EG stepping up their game even more?
Definitely seeing the downsides of the Morphling. I mean, EG did a really good job winning the lanes. And Faceless just didn't secure their lanes very well. Went for like a risky setup with the Morphling in the off lane, ended up rotating him top. Felt like a traditional tri-lane, like just keeping the CM in Earth. I mean, they wanted to tri-lane bottom, and then they decided against it because they just traded hits poorly. If they just tri-lane top from the start, things would be very different. You'd see a lot more farm on Black's Morphling, as well as a lot less farm on this Legion Commander. It's hard. You see an opportunity to perhaps win like an extra lane. Like, okay, Ice, he can just go for the 1v1 matchup. We can aggro tri-lane bottom. If our aggro tri-lane goes well, Ice gets farm and we win the bottom lane. Didn't turn out how Faceless hoped for, though.
EG looking to continue the flow of what's been pretty much an absolute stomp so far this game, too.
Yep. I'll be back on the high ground next Rage. Just going to wait for one more creep wave, pop another Solar Crest. They're not even going to wait for the Rage. Wait for the creep wave. They'll just go in without.
With the Rage and the Solar Crest upon him.
We've got creeps in bottom, so why wait for a creep wave when we've already got one elsewhere?
What can they do? They'll get the silence onto Artur. Or just smash onto no one. Faceless looking
easy.
Pretty hopeless.
Heal. Cheesy will be forced to rage defensively. That open wounds just providing such good sustain for the whole team. He gets chipped away at, he open wounds, he gets back to full, then he gets chipped away again. He'll open wounds once more, every little bit of HP. For constant sustain, you reverse this huge spam, but it doesn't seem to bother Arteezy between the open wounds and the Shadow Word. Seeing that Shadow Word max out. Often you see these Warlocks kind of max get maybe 2 points in Shadow Word, maybe 3, but Easy fully maxing it out.
And there we have the jump in to kick things off once again. They find the jewel. Chaotic Offering dropped onto the back, and already Ice buys back immediately. Jabs jumps in with a burst, does manage to bring down Arteezy. Big kill for Faceless. Can they get more though? Zai holds back Faceless with a crush, gets up to the north. He's not going to be fine though. The adaptive strike from Black flies through. They've not only just found 2, can they get anything more?
Hard to chase. They've lost Ember though. They've lost their chasing power in Black.
And Samael's back in. He's ready to try and put an end to this nonsense as Universe cleans up with the nuke, ready to chase down Nuts. They'll turn towards the objective instead. A buyback will be forced out from Jabs. Faceless trying their best to hold back this push, this siege from EG.
When you use that buyback, you don't just want to be repelling a push, you want to be securing kills, and Jabs unable to do so, and maybe unable even to defend his racks.
Got the fortification.
Has to get in there soon. Sumail's gonna purge off the Flame Guard.
Oh, Sumail actually gonna miss the combo here. Nuts coming in as well. Again though, Universe jumps in, catches out Jabs. Jabs now on a dieback. Nuts out as well. Black, can he find Sumail with the help of XY? They do bring down the Lina, but look at the damage. Universe just ready with the chase down. With these Moment of Courage procs, finds XY, and Black, the last one left surviving here on Faceless, has to just tuck his tail and run away from Universe. And Sumail indeed back for round 2 if Black wants to give it to them. Because we'll be procced here. EG just focusing the objectives. Sumail forces Black back to the fountain. And EG will be able to finally clean up this second set of racks. 26 minutes in, 25-6. This last Rax in the middle. Faceless will have one more fight in them by the looks of it. But this really will be the final fight. They have to do something incredibly phenomenal here. Ice is going to try and take them back to the beginning of this game, but he'll cancel it. He knows that it's not going to help as the Laguna Blade flies into the eyeballs of the CM. Buybacks coming out from her and Black. The rack starting to fall. Arteezy. And now, as Jabs will get crit. A kill is a kill. There's been a buyback from Universe. Zion again, 3-man crush. Arteezy gets to work on Jabs. Looks towards Nuts. It's a triple kill for Arteezy. There's the Ultra. Give that man a rampage. Somewhere beautiful to finish the game. And there we have it. 31-8. GG is called. 27 minutes in. The double rampage there for Artor as Faceless just fell apart from the start. There never felt like there was ever a hope for them here in this match. As EG just multiple levels ahead of them in this game.
Yeah, they got face rolled as EG dominate all 3 lanes. Very hard to turn around such a bad laning state.